What is up, guys? Hope you've all had a good week. It's been a while since we've had a sit down, face-to-face talking video. As you guys know, a couple weeks ago, I contracted a bacterial infection of the lungs, okay? And what this did is it compromised my breathing and then giving me COPD, which now I am suffering with. I'm just kidding. Basically, yeah, I got bronchitis. Was very ill for a little bit, but after a week or so, came back from it, and I just didn't make any videos for a while. I made that one training vlog, and then I made that epic montage. That was pretty fucking cool. You guys can admit that. But I figured, we should have another sit down discussion, informative video. Dude, I look fucking tired. Yesterday, dude, I worked a 12-hour shift, and then I drove 2 hours, and then I lifted, and I'm just exhausted, man. I'm just trying to kick back and have a good day. So my eyes are oh my god, dude. Anyway, guys, that's besides the point. Back with another sit down talking to you guys video. We're gonna be talking about how to train when you have a condensed schedule. So I know a lot of people who watch this channel are around my age, right? Very early 20s, late teens probably. In this time in your life, some of us who are, maybe you're going to college and you have to pay for your own college. So that means that you have to work a job. And then maybe you have other shit going on in your life. Maybe you have a kid, bro. Knock on wood. We don't want any kids right now, but maybe you have one. You know what I mean? It happens. So training with all of these complications in your life is going to be easy to make that excuse and say, dude, I just don't have time to train. I don't have time to train, man. I don't have time to sit in the gym for 5 hours a day, like some people say, dude. When in reality, literally everyone has time to train. Unless you are, I don't know, working 12-hour shifts a fucking week, and you have a kid, and then I don't know, dude, you have an illness of the spinal cavity, I don't know, some shit like that, dude. Then you have time to train, right? So it's usually just a LARP when people are like, oh, well, I don't, I would lift, but I'm too smart to lift, or I don't have time, I don't like to waste my time. And then they go home and they watch Netflix, bro, or you sit on YouTube for 2 hours, right? You have time to train. So today I'm going to be discussing with you guys just a couple, I don't know if I'm going to be the top 10 ways. It's not the top 10 ways. It's just in general, I'm going to be talking about how you can train on a tight schedule. It's something that I'm personally doing right now. Just certain variables that you can put into your training that are going to make it a little bit easier to train with a tight schedule. So my personal situation, I'm paying for my classes or whatever, so I have to work, and then I travel on the weekends a lot. I'm in a very tight schedule right now. I like to train 2 different types of arts. I like to train weightlifting, and with that weightlifting, I don't know if you can call it with the weightlifting, but I like to do some accessory work just to bring up areas, have a certain look kinda, but also be strong, be athletic, be mobile, all of those things. But I also like to train Muay Thai too, this kind of thing, right? So so I tend to have a very, very, very kind of busy schedule, and I'm not tooting my own horn there, right? There's people who are way busier than me, but right now I'm just a busy lad, right? So I'm gonna give you guys some tips, some tricks to sort of manipulate this, right, and come around this. So let's say you go to the gym and your workouts take an hour and a half, right? The first thing you're gonna want to do, dude, is you need to make your sessions shorter. This is something that I had to come to terms with, because personally for me, I don't know about you guys, my goal when I train is to become a whole package. It's to become like a Baki character. That's how I always compare it to. I want to be jacked like a Baki character. The Baki characters are super flexible, right? They're super strong. They have insane body kinesthetics, right? They're very good at calisthenics, body control awareness, stuff like that. They're very flexible, they're good at fighting, all of these things. I want that. Now, obviously, am I going to become fucking Yujiro Hanma? Dude, I know it's a LARP, right? It's an anime, right? But I'm saying that is kind of my ideology when I train. I want to do as much as I can. So with that, though, you have to make some sacrifices. You have to cut the session shorter. So, when my sessions were taking about an hour 30 to an hour 45, sometimes 2 hours, I looked at my program, and I'm like, dude, first of all, you need to cut this out. You need to cut that out. You don't need that. That exercise takes too long. Maybe it's a better exercise, but it takes so much longer. Let's say you're doing, I don't know, a good example. I really don't. let's say you're doing those single arm kettlebell presses, right? Where you hold the kettlebell upside down and do this, and you do that, and then you switch, and then you do it again. Instead of doing that, why don't you just get 2 kettlebells, try to get them upside down, and then press, right? It's gonna cut that in half because you're not gonna be switching back and forth, right? Again, you might have to use less weight because getting them up is really hard. It might be a little bit less optimal, but again, this is for someone who has an already unoptimal schedule and you want to optimize it to the best of your ability. So what you're going to do is you're going to have to cut down some stuff. Cut out some of the stuff that you don't really need. For me, I personally am addicted to volume. I love training with a lot of volume. It's just the way my body responds the best. I'm kind of changing that though a little bit. I'm becoming a little bit more, 1 rep max guy type of deal. But yeah, training with volume for me is addictive. So I have to like take out, sometimes dude, I just take out a whole set. Just, you got to think like, am I going to be able to recover from this properly? First of all, I'm not a professional athlete at this moment. So am I going to be able to recover from this? Okay, maybe I need less volume. Maybe I need to back it down, less weight, blah, 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 all that stuff. So just in general, I'm saying make your workouts shorter. But don't make them, let's just jump to the next point, dude, because it connects to this. Do supersets, bro. Like, seriously, do supersets. Supersets are so efficient. They literally cut your workout in half. They cut certain exercises in half, and they make you more cardiovascularly proficient, right? Like, supersets, if you're not doing them, what are you doing, you know? And now, of course, I'm not talking about, like, strength work. If you're doing, like, a heavy-ass, like, I guess, like, squat session or something, or a heavy deadlifts, or heavy bench, heavy dips, heavy clean and jerk, right? You're not going to be supersetting, like, I'm going to do snatch 4x3, superset it with pull-ups. Like, no, that's just stupid. I'm saying, like, have your strength work, right? Like, this is the way I structure it. 1 to 2 strength exercises, right? 1 to 2 strength exercises, sometimes 1, sometimes 2. And then based on that, if I picked 2 strength exercises, I'm going to have 2 supersets after, right? For a lower body day, 1 might be some back work along with a mobility exercise, and then another mobility exercise with something more leg specific, and then at the end an abdominal exercise, because I try to train my abs as much as possible, because you know your core is the most, like, that's the most resilient muscles in your body, so you can train your core every day. But what I'm saying is supersets are so much more efficient, because if you think about it like this, let's say you're doing let's do it really simple, you're doing bicep curls, you're doing 3 sets of that, 8 to 10 reps, and then you're waiting in between, you're not supersetting with everything, and then you do tricep extensions next, right? Okay, first of all, your biceps are not going to be taxed if you do triceps right after. And if they are taxed, it's going to be so minuscule that again, we're not nitpicking here like someone who has all day to train, right? You're a busy person. You have like other priorities that you need to get to. So what is more important? That 0.003% more gains that you're going to get. Are you an IFBB pro? Maybe you are, maybe you're not, right? But let's say you're just a dude that's like in a really difficult point in your life. You're really busy, right? It's going to be so much more efficient to just do the bicep curls, superset them right with the tricep extensions, rest no longer than 90 seconds, and then do the process again. It's going to literally cut everything in half. It's going to be so much more efficient. I can't like LARP on supersets enough, dude. They're the best thing you can do for your accessories. They're the best thing you can do for your isolation movements, anything like that, dude. As long as it's not super taxing work where you really need to be focused, like a heavy strength work, obviously, I definitely recommend doing supersets if you're a busy guy. Of course, you don't have to. I don't superset my ab exercises, actually, just because I really want to focus on my abs. And that's another thing. If you really want to focus on one muscle group, maybe supersets aren't the best for you. But I get all my work in with the way I structure my program, so I'm happy with it. So, yeah, what do we have right now? We have making your sessions shorter. So sometimes, like, dude, you don't need all that volume. You don't need to be in the gym for 3 hours. Like, I know it's great. It's fun. I used to do it a lot when I was younger. But as you get older, as you get more busy, right, you can't have that all the time, right? Maybe one day in my life I'll have that again, right, where I could just like spend as much time as I want there and do all the work, right? But if you're a busy lad, you know, you gotta make some sacrifices. So make the workouts a bit shorter and make them more efficient. So supersets are gonna make this shit more efficient, right? Yeah, and another like thing that I can tag on the end that everyone knows, and we're all guilty of it sometimes, dude, distractions literally slaughter your workout. So the gym I go to, man, it's got a great community. Everyone's like pretty friendly there. Everyone's kind of friends. I'm not, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm not the most social guy in the gym, right? Like sometimes I'm walking around like I'm kind of like, you know, like people probably think I have like, you know, some kind of learning disability. But in reality, dude, I just like to stay focused. I like to stay in my zone. I'd like to be, right? But yeah, so if you guys have a training partner, that's one thing, right? A training partner, maybe you're chatting a little bit in between sets, but when the weight goes up, it's time to fucking go, right? But if you're just like sitting there and you know you should be lifting, dude, and you're talking to someone, or this is the worst thing I've seen. Sometimes I'll be like, I used to go to this other gym, and I would work out with this individual, right? And dude, like if you're doing like sit-ups, you say, and you're coming to the top, and then you're talking, and then you're waiting there, nah, 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 with the plate in your hand like an idiot, and you're like, I'm eating chicken after this workout, and then you go back down. Like, dude, you're talking during your exercises, dude. Shut up. It should be focused. I never understand that. Unless you're warming up, why are you talking in the middle of your exercise? Like cranking out. Like, okay, if you're talking in the middle of your exercise, that just says it right there, dude. You're not going hard enough, right? You need to be fucking zoned in. You need to be like focused. You can't be like doing weighted pull-ups with 2 plates and be like, hey bro, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Like, obviously that's ridiculous, man. So all of that to say, all that stupid LARPing with the plate and the acting, like, dislike the video for that shit, dude. That was stupid. But all that to say, dude, like, just try to cut out distractions. If you but I'm not saying to be antisocial like me, because is people in the gym that will push you, right? And you can form relationships and friendships, and at the end of the day, dude, we're trying to have fun, right? We're trying to have fun, but also you're trying to get that work in. So find a balance between the both, right? There is a balance between the both. But don't be talking to people when you know you should be lifting. Just for the love of God, please don't talk in the middle of your sets. And just with all those basic rules, dude, you'll be fine. Put in music if you have to. You know, learn to be like, hey, dude, I gotta get to this set. You know, like, you know, that people will understand, right? Just don't LARP, right? Or if you don't give a shit, dude, literally just go to the gym to hang out. Like, I don't care, dude. This is just for people who want to train. Okay. Another thing, dude. Training with the utmost intensity. This has been something that I've been loving, dude. People say, like, I've always heard people say, like, oh, just because you sweat, that's not indicative of that you got a good workout. To me, yes, it is, dude. It is. And again, this channel is it's not based off science. It's based off of my experience as a lifter, and I'm sharing with you guys my experiences to maybe you try some of the things that I'm discussing, and then, you know, like, shit like that. But I'm not going to be like pulling up a study, because that's boring. You could do that yourself. Like reading studies and shit, that's cool, right? Like, I understand why people do it. I do it sometimes, but I'm not here to just bring you guys studies. I'm here to bring you my experience. It's a bit different. Okay, so anyway, I'm keep going off on tangent. I'm honestly kind of terrible at making videos. Let's keep it real, man. But training with intensity, the number one thing that I've noticed has been improving my exercises, improving my workouts, improving my training. It's training with intensity, man. Just really zoning in before a lift and then attacking the weight is going to make your workouts change, dude. Like, it's just going to. And some ways I can suggest to train with intensity is if you're not doing strength work, right? So you're not doing heavy work, like you're doing your accessories, do not be taking more than 90 seconds of rest, because you do not need it. You don't need more than 90 seconds of rest. Like, it's a waste, right? So yeah. And your heart rate will still be going. You'll be getting both components of conditioning, sort of like a slight conditioning effect, because you're not fully like super recovered, but also you're still gonna get that muscular hypertrophy, whatever you're doing your accessories for, right? So training with intensity, resting a bit less, right? Really focusing in on the weight and attacking it in a way that is going to make you feel every single rep, right? Like, do every rep with intention. Really focus in, zone in. And it's going to, make your workouts go quicker because you're not resting as much. You're not fucking around. You're not bullshitting. You're not looking on your phone. You're waiting. It's great to have a timer in the gym too. I kind of just do it based on my mind, because I don't know. I'm kind of good at, I used to be a runner, so I'm sort of like we did a lot with like stopwatches and shit like that. So I'm kind of good at dictating like, oh, about a minute has passed, right? So I kind of just do that. But, you know, having one of those like little watches or something, dude, and just hitting a timer every single time you finish a set, it's going to do wonders for you, dude. And another thing about intensity, you literally, like, you can't train for like 3 hours with that high intensity level. Usually for me, my intensity peaks around 45 minutes in. Well, actually, 45 minutes in, because usually the most of my work is those first 2 exercises, that strength work, right? So it's peaking around 45 minutes, not seconds. Did I say seconds? I'm so stupid. 45 minutes into the exercise, right? And then it's slowly weaning down, and then it usually dies after about 1 hour and 30 minutes of going hard, right? That's when like my body's just kind of like, all right, like we put in enough effort, like we can chill now. So after that, usually if I'm doing any work after that, it's either really light, it's stretching, or if I'm still going, it's kind of junk volume. So I tend to not do that, right? Which is another reason. So again, just find out what works for you. Some people's intensity peaks way later, right? Like I know there's some guys who do like bodybuilding and stuff, and they go for 2 hours, right? They go for 2.5 hours, right? Because they're training a bit differently. But when you're really like explosive at one moment and then you move to your accessories, it's just going to be different. So assess your style of training, assess how you peak, how you feel in your workout, and then based off of that, sort of try to train around that intense level. But generally you can't go as hard as you can if you're kind of like not training with that utmost intensity. So attack the weights, focus on every rep, all that good stuff. And again, don't try not to be too over analytical. I kind of spoke of that in the beginning, like all those things that you want to do, right? Like you're not going to be able to do all of them right now. So, and you're not going to be able to recover from all of them. So know your goals, dude. Know what you want more than other things. Know what you need though too, because sometimes we skip things that we need. I'm talking about mobility. I'm talking about bringing up a really weak lagging area. I'm talking about doing exercises you hate, but you know that you need them, right? So have a combination of all that. Be very, very balanced in the terms of know what you want, know your goals, know what you need, right? And know what you're kind of you can kind of get rid of, right? Based off of that, you're going to be able to make a good workout. You're not going to be able to do everything, dude. But again, paralysis by analysis kills. It's better to actually do the training than to think about the training all the time, right? If you're spending 90% of your time thinking about my program, this, blah, 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 I need to write this shit down. Like, but this thing, right? You're gonna paralyze yourself through analyzing all of this stuff. So spend more time training than you are worrying about the program, thinking about the program, right? You should be training. That should be your main focus. So again, these are just some tips, dude, to like kind of help you. I wrote them in this little notebook right here. But those are just some tips, man, to help you if you are a person who has a very busy schedule. I hope this video was informative to some of you. I hope it helped. Try out some of these things. Leave a comment down below if you have any disagreements or agreements, like something that you were like, oh shit, like, dude, I didn't think of that, or stuff like that, man. So yeah, have a good day. Happy training. I'm going to try to get some rest this weekend, and I'll see you guys around. Peace.